this video I am going to do a continuation of the folding of embryo. So basically that in yesterday's lecture I discussed about the folding of head folding. Now in today's lecture I am going to discuss about a tail folding. But now before discussing tail folding, first of all you should know the condition before tail folding. So here that this is a condition. So here that and in tail folding we are going to mention mainly about this part. So therefore that you should see that so first of all that this is the cranial end, this is the caudal end. So therefore that this cloacal membrane, allantoic diverticulum, all these structures yes, and also a connecting stalk. So a cloacal membrane, allantoic diverticulum, connecting stalk, all these structures lie caudally with respect to this primitive string, and also that this caudal end of neural tube does not lie at the extreme caudal end of the embryonic disc. And also basically if you want to know what is allantoic diverticulum, it is simply that is the portion of the yolk sac which extends into the connecting stalk. So here it is the allantoic diverticulum. So all these portions I have written that the part of yolk sac extending into the connecting stalk called allantoic diverticulum. And also basically I have written that condition before tail fold, that before the tail fold primitive streak cloacal membrane and allantoic diverticulum lie caudally with respect to the caudal end of neural tube. As you can see here that is a caudal end of neural tube. With respect to this caudal end, primitive streak cloacal membrane, connecting stalk, allantoic diverticulum, they are lying caudally with respect to this caudal end of neural tube. Now so this is a condition. Now I am going to tell you, so here what is the reason for the occurring of the tail fold. The tail fold occurs due to the enlargement of this, so here caudal end of the neural tube. So due to the enlargement of the caudal end of the neural tube, the tail folding occurs. Now so here basically that this is the process. So here basically situations happening during the tail folding process. So here you can see here that this cranial end of neural tube, it is going to come in the most extreme part, and slowly that this primitive streak is coming to lie. So here basically caudally with respect to connecting stalk and allantoic diverticulum. So here during the process, and this is just so here situation that is after the complete formation of the tail fold. You can see here that this caudal end of the neural tube lies at the most caudal portion of the embryonic disc, and also you can see here that this primitive streak lies caudally with respect to this a connecting stalk, allantoic diverticulum, and the cloacal membrane. And also so here basically in the head fold also, that is I mentioned that is a portion lies between the, so here developing brain or a neural tube and the, so here basically buccopharyngeal membrane, a pericardial tube, and also septum transversum, and this leads to formation of foreguard. Similarly you can see here that a portion of the yolk sac lies between this a neural tube and also allantoic diverticulum, cloacal membrane, and the connecting stalk, and that portion is divided into two parts, hindgut and cloaca, and this a division of this portion done with respect to this allantoic diverticulum. So here you can see that the portion of this yolk sac lying between this neural tube and connecting stalk, and the portion that is which is cranial to this allantoic diverticulum, and that portion is the hindgut, and the portion which is caudal to this allantoic diverticulum is simple cloaca. And all these are changes or the results of tail fold. So first of all I have written that formation of hindgut and cloaca done, and here now what is hindgut and what is cloaca. So here you can see here that due to the tail fold, some portions of yolk sac lie between the neural tube and connecting stalk and cloacal membrane, and the portion of yolk sac cranial to the elentric diverticulum called the hindgut. So this is the elentric diverticulum. So here basically cranial to elentric diverticulum, this is the hindgut, and caudal is the cloaca. So here simply the portion of yolk sac cranial to elentric diverticulum hindgut, and the portion of yolk sac caudal to elentric diverticulum cloaca. Now, and the second point is a cloacal membrane, connecting stalk and elentric diverticulum. All these structures like cranially with respect to primitive streak. As you can see here that this is the cranial end. So here with respect to this primitive streak, that is a cloaca, elentric diverticulum, a connecting stalk, cloacal membrane, all these structures are lying cranially with respect to this primitive streak. Now, and also you can see here that finally that is a caudal end of neural tube becomes the most caudal part. Here also you can see here that this is the neural tube and caudal, sorry, this is not cranial, so this is the caudal part. Caudal end of neural tube lies at the most caudal part. So here this is the completion of the tail fold, and here that you should know that together head and tail foldings known as cephalocaudal folding. So friends, so before discussing lateral fold, that please consider that this is the cranial end of the neural tube and this is the caudal end, and here this lateral folding done due to rapid growth of somites, and this lateral folding done so here in this way. So here this is the right halves and this is the left halves. So here in this way that is lateral folding done. So here from this left halves and from this right halves, and in this lateral folding done. So here in this way that this embryonic disc so here completely becomes cylindrical, and this is a cranial and this is the caudal, so here completely cylindrical in shape. And also you can see here that this embryonic disc that this portion is completely surrounded, that this tube is completely surrounded by this embryonic disc, but only that this tube is connected with the yolk sac only through this part. So basically here also I want to show with the help of this diagram that in this way lateral foldings occur, right and left folds. So therefore that is I written that lateral folding occurs due to rapid growth of somites, and this leads to right and left half folds. Now now I want to show the results of a lateral fold. So here formation of midgut, formation of vitalointestinal tract, and here formation of cylindrical shape of embryo. Now here that these two portions you will understand in the next page. So this is a complete so here result after a folding of embryo. So now here you can see here that this is the amniotic cavity and this is a neural tube, and now that this orange color portion is the yolk sac. But now here you can see that this yolk sac divided into parts. Basically that part of yolk sac which is completely that is enclosed by this developing embryo is made like a tube like structure, and that tube like structure is known as primitive gut, and this primitive gut divided into foregut, midgut and hindgut. And also you can see here that is a remaining portion of yolk sac that is not enclosed by this developing embryo is known as definitive yolk sac. Now here you can see that this definitive yolk sac provides nutrition, so it must be connected to the primitive gut. So now it is connected to the primitive gut with the help of a duct known as vitalointestinal duct. So now I hope you are able to understand what is vitalointestinal duct. So therefore that is after the complete folding of embryo, that is the duct which connects definitive yolk sac to the primitive gut, and this is known as vitalointestinal duct. And this primitive gut consists of foregut, midgut and hindgut. That means that this foregut, midgut and hindgut they together make this primitive gut. Now here if you want to understand what is midgut. So here that portion of primitive gut which is in contact with the vitalointestinal duct is known as midgut. So I hope that you are able to understand this concept also, what is midgut, and you are able to understand vitalointestinal tract. All these portions I have written. And also now simply we can define what is foregut and hindgut. So here the portion of the primitive gut cranial to the midgut is known as foregut, and the caudal to the midgut is known as hindgut. And all these portions I have written that after the complete folding of embryo, some parts of yolk sac completely enclosed within the embryo, and that part of yolk sac becomes a tube-like structure, and that tube-like structure known as primitive gut. So here that in this way, so in this case this is the primitive gut, that this is completely, so here encircled by this developing embryo, and you know that this yolk sac lined by endoderm, and this primitive gut also developed from yolk sac. So therefore that is primitive gut is also lined by endoderm, and this primitive gut in future will do the formation of digestive organs, and therefore you can realize that these all digestive organs are endodermal in origin. Now, so this is a primitive gut and the remaining portions of yolk sac. So here not enclosed within the embryo known as definitive yolk sac. So this is the definitive yolk sac, and the duct connecting primitive gut to definitive yolk sac known as vitalointestinal tract. So here you can see here this is the, so here basically primitive gut, and this is a definitive yolk sac, and this duct, so here connecting, so here definitive yolk sac to primitive gut is the vitalointestinal tract. And what is midgut? The portion of primitive gut connected with a definitive yolk sac through vitalointestinal tract is known as midgut, and the portion of a primitive gut cranial to midgut is the foregut, and the caudal to midgut is the hindgut. That's all about the embryo folding. I hope that this video helps you a lot. Thank you. That's all about. So today you understood basically condition before tail folding, and here what is allantoic diverticulum, and here results of tail folding, and here what is lateral folding, and here basically what are the parts of primitive gut, and here what is vitalointestinal tract, primitive gut, and definitive yolk sac. Thank you.